the baffling circus around Trent Alexander-Arnold. Don't get it. Do not get it at all. And I think actually no, the only way I can sort of figure this out is that because there's about 12 English right backs at the moment, and everyone thinks they've got a good one, and some have more than others. Like I think Reece James is terrific. I didn't understand Southgate's decision to go with him until I watched the Euros, and I went, okay, yeah, fine. I didn't see him and go, oh my God, definitely, he's clearly streets ahead of Trent Alexander-Arnold, because he's not. But I understood for what I got what he was trying to do at that tournament, and Reece James made sense in that regard. So that was absolutely fine. But you've got even like the Wan-Bissaka thing. You got a lot of Manchester United fans, a lot of vocal Manchester United fans as well, and there was that whole like step outside thing for a little while of like every time Wan-Bissaka would, I don't know what he does, slide tackle someone probably, and then it'd be like, oh, Trent, step outside, and and then did Liverpool play on the Sunday and Trent would get a hat trick of assists, and he'd be like, no, you're all right, I'm fine. He's the best right back on the planet, and I think that's. It's normally, I think there's like a thing of, you're talking top five. When you say best in the world, you're generally talking top five or so. So like I think Mo Salah's absolutely world class. He's probably our best player, and yet he's probably realistically he's top five, maybe top three in his position in the world, because Messi still plays and that kind of thing. I think one of my other players we'll come to in centre half is undoubtedly the best player on the planet in his position, but Trent is for me. He's 22 years old, James. He scored a free kick in a Champions League qualifying game against Hoffenheim away in Heidelberg in the start of the 17-18. So Liverpool haven't been in the Champions League for years, and this Scouse kid's playing fullback. We thought he was okay, certainly promising. Great to have a local lad in there, and he scored a free kick, and you just go, blimey, like it's one thing to come in and hold your own, but like fullbacks don't do that. To have that as a string to your bow as well. He's supremely talented.
I think in that moment as well, it's like they were like, "Here, Trent, you have the ball." Like, I think that's it as much as anything, right? It's the fact that you got this kid who's coming through, and you go, "Okay, well, we've got all these stars around him." And he's the guy taking it, and then he does what he does, and you go, oh, okay, I get it. Going back to the Wan-Bissaka thing, this is called dream teams, and I did think about it there. It was like, if people want to have the debate about Wan-Bissaka and Trent Alexander-Arnold, fine. But what I will say is that of this generation of fans or people that have seen him, how many of the Man United fans are going to put Wan-Bissaka anywhere near their dream team? How many picks are they going to get? And how many of the current sort of, say like, I don't know, 13 to 18-year-olds that have been watching the last 5 years are going to be putting Trent in their team? Like, some of the passes, the highlight reel that is there with him is pretty outrageous for a player who's so young still. And the fact that he's a local lad is just it's gorgeous for you guys as well, isn't it? To kind of have him there for you, because you don't have to truly worry about him leaving, do you?
I can't imagine so. I mean, look, maybe years down the line he might just fancy doing something else. Who knows? But again, he's 22. He's got Jurgen Klopp for another couple of years at least. It's he's great, James. This is the thing about fullbacks. There are a lot of 6 and 7 out of 10 fullbacks in our lives. And for years, yeah, it's true. Liverpool had a string of between 6 and 7 out of 10 rated fullbacks from the mid noughties, particularly onwards, where we had this like conveyor belt where we had like Hossamy, then we upgraded him for Kronkamp, and then we upgraded him for Arbeloa, who was good, but he was never more than a 7 out of 10. Yeah, and Nathaniel Klein came in, and that's the thing about like Wan-Bissaka for me. He's Klein. And that Daniel Klein's mad because he had a really bad back injury and he's never been the same since. But he was England's right back, and he was a very, very good right back, very good fullback. Yeah. Good defensive fullback, not great crossing the halfway line, but that's what people expect. I still go to Anfield. You still occasionally get one going, "Oh, Trent, a right back's got to defend."
Yeah. Well, that's it. Because he's like, it's what's said in he's a match winner. He's a match winner. And that is so rare for a fullback. You're right. It's it's a place where you stick players that are solid for you that aren't going to let you down. And I guess with that and what he can offer, there's going to be moments where you get caught the other way, right?
But it's a myth that he can't. It's a myth that he can't defend, and I think it's a very lazy analysis of it, because when you play so high up the pitch, it's not your job to be in a flat line of a back four. He's not Gary Neville. This is not those days anymore. He effectively plays right midfield for us, and you would never have. No one would have blamed David Beckham if Gary Neville got overloaded down that side. It's just the way that Liverpool play. I get it. It's the same with the Robertson thing. It's tough when they then go to international duty, because they're going to worse teams who don't play as expansively or don't have the players around them to enable them to do that. So Robertson doesn't play as well for Scotland because his type of left back isn't probably what Scotland needs. And the same is true with Trent at right back, but good. Let them retire from international football. Remove themselves from the media circus into the warm, comforting bosom of Liverpool. And play for us for even longer. That'd be great.
Sure. And one thing I'll say with the defensive thing is that I think also the centre backs you have around you is important. And last year, because the thing I think Real Madrid away, and I think that they went. Tony Cruz went, right, let's hit this channel, which one is a positional thing. But again, I think it's a spotlight thing. Like everyone's retweeting everything. Like nothing gets like hidden or not. You talk about everything in its minutiae. So that's where these kind of like strands of argument are going to kind of reveal themselves. But he's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.